What happens when your neighbor thinks they own your property? This is the story of how an entitled neighbor tried to take over my backyard pool, only to get the karma they never saw coming. Hi, I'm Jake, 32 years old, and I'm here to share the most ridiculous and satisfying story of karma you'll ever hear. It all started when I moved into my little dream home about 2 years ago. It wasn't anything fancy, but the backyard had a pool, which I'd worked my butt off to afford. For me, it was a slice of heaven. When I met my neighbor Karen, because of course her name is Karen, I immediately got bad vibes. She was in her late 40s, with the energy of someone who makes complaints for fun. The very first thing she said to me wasn't, "Welcome to the neighborhood," or anything nice. No, she walked right up to me as I was unloading boxes and said, "So are you going to let the neighborhood kids use your pool? It's such a waste if you don't." I thought she was joking. I mean, who says that to someone they just met? So I laughed and told her, "Sorry, it's private, just for me and my guests." Her smile got super tight, like I just told her the most offensive thing in the world. She said, "That's not very neighborly of you," and walked off in a huff. At first I figured that was the end of it, but nope, Karen wasn't done. For weeks, whenever I saw her, she'd make these little comments. "Such a shame about that pool going to waste." Or, "The kids would love to swim on hot days." I'd just smile and ignore her. But then things got weird. One morning I heard giggling outside and looked out the window. A group of kids was in my backyard shaking the gate to get in. I went outside and told them to leave. They scattered like squirrels, but not 10 minutes later, Karen was at my door. She accused me of being rude to her kids. "They're just curious," she said, like that made it okay. I told her that curious didn't give them the right to trespass. From then on, it was like a campaign of entitlement. Karen found my number in the HOA directory and started texting me nonstop. "We're planning a play date. Can the kids swim? Your pool pump is too loud and we're trying to relax." It was nonstop nonsense. The breaking point came on a Saturday morning. I woke up, looked out my window, and saw Karen floating in my pool on one of my noodles. Her kids were splashing around like it was a public water park. She'd hopped the fence and helped herself. I stormed outside and said, "What the hell are you doing in my pool? This is private property." She didn't even flinch. "Oh, calm down," she said, waving me off. "You weren't even using it." I told her to get out immediately, and she finally did. But not before saying, "You'll regret this. Mark my words." Over the next few weeks, she cranked up the crazy. She reported my pool to the HOA, claiming it was a safety hazard. She spread rumors around the neighborhood that I was selfish and unfriendly. And then, to top it all off, she started tossing trash over the fence. Leaves, plastic bags, even a busted pool noodle. That's when I decided enough was enough. If Karen wanted my pool so badly, fine. She could have it, but not the way she wanted. First, I stopped cleaning the pool. Within a week, it turned this nasty green color. Then I ordered fish-safe dye online and dumped it in, turning the water into a neon green swamp. I went all out, putting up signs that said, "Danger, toxic testing zone, keep out." To really sell it, I bought fake alligator heads and plastic biohazard barrels, tossing them into the water for dramatic effect. The next time Karen peeked over the fence, her face was priceless. "What the hell did you do to the pool?" she shouted. I just shrugged and said, "Oh, I'm experimenting with water purification technology. It's a work in progress." She looked like she wanted to scream. "You can't do that. This is a residential neighborhood." "Yeah, well, it's my pool," I said, and went back inside. She didn't stop there. She called the city, claiming I was running some kind of hazardous waste experiment in my backyard. When the inspector showed up, they took one look at the pool and started laughing. "Ma'am," they told her, "this is just a pool with dye in it. Nothing illegal here." At that point, the whole neighborhood was done with Karen. She'd annoyed just about everyone with her entitlement and drama. Then came the ultimate karma. Turns out Karen's husband, who I'd barely seen and who apparently had no idea about all her antics, finally found out what she'd been up to. He was mortified. A week later, a for sale sign went up in their yard. Within a month, Karen and her family were gone. After they left, I drained and cleaned the pool, restoring it to its original glory. Now I can relax in my backyard without worrying about anyone hopping the fence or throwing trash over it. Sometimes when I'm floating on my pool noodle, I think about Karen's face when she saw the neon green water and those fake alligator heads. It still makes me laugh. Karma might take its time, but when it finally arrives, it's oh so sweet.